Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video, and in this one we've got a lot to cover. First off, I wanted to show you guys some experiences in Portal where you can actually gain and access the Little Bird, so even though it's not officially released, you can still practice in it a little bit right now. There is a Grand Bazaar remake coming to the game. There are also some really important new assignment changes. We've got information about the battle pickups that are coming to Battlefield 6, and then I also wanted to touch on the new Battle Royale, the REDSEC, which is basically getting really heavily review bombed on Steam at the moment. I want to talk a little bit about the reasons behind that and whether or not they actually seem justified. So as always, if you guys enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6. And without further ado, let's just jump in, and we're going to start here with the Little Bird. So for those of you who don't know how Portal works, if you want to host yourself a server, you come down to Community, go on Search Experiences, come down here, and then you have to input a code. And I have a number of experiences for you guys. So the first one is going to be Manhattan Bridge with bots, and the code for this one is ZZ874, and this will give you access to the Little Bird. It'll basically just spawn a bunch of bots up on a rooftop that you can gun down. They're not going to fire back or anything like that, but you can see here the insane power of the Little Bird in this game. I don't know if this is balanced yet. Like, they're probably going to tweak it because it's, like I say, it's not officially released in the game, guys. This is not supposed to be coming in Season 1. I'm not sure when they've got it slated. I'm going to assume it's going to be in Season 2, so the fact that they've made this maybe by accident available in Portal is probably a mistake, and they're probably going to patch this at some point and take it out of the game. So if you guys do want to experience this right now, then you probably want to jump on that. Now, if you want a slightly more challenging experience, you can also use this code here, ZZDY2, and that is going to spawn you actually into the full Battle Royale map, the REDSEC map. So not only can you fly around and have a good look, but there will also be a bunch of bots in a pile sort of one side of the map, and these ones actually fire back at you, and they absolutely shred the Little Bird. So I think DICE are continuing with their glass cannon methodology when it comes to vehicles, whereby the Little Bird is going to do insane amounts of damage, but you can also take a lot of damage just from small arms fire. So, you know, don't make the same mistake I did here. I flew over the top of these bots, got absolutely destroyed by them, and thought better of it afterwards. But then again, there is like 20 bots all congregated together, and they're all aiming at you at the same time. So it's difficult to say how balanced this is going to be. Okay, the next bit of interesting news here is that it looks like a remake of Grand Bazaar, yet again from the community, is coming soon. So this is from a guy called Meldrada, and this was posted by Battlefield Portal. So this isn't available to play yet. I don't believe he's given out an actual code for this, because I think he's still working on fully constructing the map here. But it looks to be a pretty faithful recreation. So far, we've seen that Operation Metro is in the works. We've already gotten Zebra Tower, of course. We've gotten No Shore Canals. If you guys want a video going over some of the best Portal modes and experiences right now, I do have one on the channel. I will link it up in the corner for you. These are all playable right now, but at the moment it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for Grand Bazaar, but I am certainly excited to see it come. The problem is that none of these experiences are going to give you, well, experience, and this also means that people aren't going to bother joining them. So what I'd really like to see DICE do, at least if they're not going to bring back full experience for these maps and modes, is basically feature them on the homepage, on the featured page for Battlefield 6, maybe with like a nice rotation, you know. Imagine having Grand Bazaar, Zebra Tower, we could call it like Battlefield Flashbacks or something, I don't know. They could have all of these map remakes in one playlist, give full experience, and I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy playing those. Okay, next I want to talk about a really new important feature for challenges. I did cover this in my review yesterday for Season 1's content, but just to put it out there for anybody who missed it, this has now come directly from the Battlefield Communications account, and they say Feature Spotlight, Weekly and Daily Challenge Rerolling. If a challenge doesn't suit your playstyle, head to the Challenges tab, select your challenge, and you'll see the option to reroll. As challenges vary from person to person, rerolls do not guarantee you'll receive a challenge you like, which is why you have multiple roles available per day for both daily challenges and per week for weekly challenges. You'll be able to gain the following depending on the version of the game you own. So for daily challenges, all players receive one daily reroll, Battlefield 6 owners receive an additional reroll, and then Battlefield Pro owners receive a third reroll. This allows for up to 3 rolls per day, and the dailies reset at 4 o'clock in the morning UTC. For the weekly challenges, all players receive 3 weekly rerolls, Battlefield 6 owners get 1 additional reroll, and then Battlefield Pro owners receive an additional reroll as well. And this will therefore allow up to 5 rerolls per week on weekly challenges, and the weeklies reset at 12 o'clock UTC every Tuesday. We hope this feature helps you find the challenges to match your playstyles. So for anybody who's been complaining that they're being forced into playing Gauntlet or playing REDSEC, the Battle Royale mode, in order to complete their weekly challenges and get all of those all-important Battlefield points, you should be able to go and reroll these. However, there is always that chance that you're going to reroll, let's say, a Battle Royale challenge, and maybe it gives you another BR challenge. It could be set up in a way that if you reroll a Battle Royale one, that the game sort of understands, okay, they're probably re-rolling it because they don't want to play that mode, and so it will automatically give you another mode. So maybe there is some sort of a workaround for that there, so you won't ever get a really, really similar one. My testing of it yesterday is I did re-roll a bunch of them, and I actually got much more generic ones, like get kills with shotguns within 15 meters, and actually, I managed to re-roll 2 of them, so I got the same challenge on 2 separate assignments, which was get like 20 kills with shotguns under 50 meters, and so I got like a 2-for-1 deal there, so that's definitely worth doing. I don't think it's going to alleviate all of the problems with the assignment system right now, but it's certainly a good start. Okay, the next bit of news is kind of concerning, to be honest with you. This is coming out of Battlefield Bulletin, and according to him, he says that you can get free rewards right now for basically reporting a cheater. And he says, new vehicle decal for reporting a cheater in Battlefield 6's multiplayer or REDSEC. This also applies to PC players who have met with the security requirements, which is TPM2 enabled, Secure Boot enabled, and HVCI and VPS enabled, whatever that means. As a thank you for owning Battlefield 6, players have received a weapon package and a weapon charm. So basically, this is essentially encouraging people to report cheaters in the game, and I hope it only works this way, that if a cheater is actually banned, then you get this decal here, rather than you get it for reporting. Because obviously, I would assume that's going to lead to a lot of people just reporting anyone because they want the decal and not because they actually think that person is a cheater. So I sincerely hope that the anti-cheat team over at DICE have some safety fences in place to, realize, okay, like, is this person a cheater or not? I guess if you get a lot of just random reporting and it's people obviously trying to get their hands on this decal, it'll be pretty obvious to them. Whereas if the same person gets reported a lot of the time, then it's more obvious maybe that that person is kind of popping up on people's radars and is therefore likely to be cheating. But yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen that in a game, get a reward for reporting a cheater. I'm saying it's good that they're encouraging people like, hey, if you see somebody or you think somebody's cheating, do use the reporting system. But yeah, I hope people don't get flagged incorrectly. Okay, this next one comes out of Battlefield Bulletin, and he says, update, some additional details on Battlefield 6 Season 1, California Resistance, and Winter Offensive. So these are the other 2 parts of Season 1 content that are coming down the line. So first off, we've got California Resistance, Battle Pickups, and Rodeo Mission. So 2 Battle Pickups will be available in California Resistance. They can only be found in high-value caches around the map, and the first one, as many of us suspected because we've heard leaks and stuff, is the Rorsch Mark II SMRW, a chargeable railgun inflicting massive damage to soldiers, vehicles, and structures. We of course know the Rorsch from Battlefield 4. This was kind of a little nod to Battlefield 2142 because it existed in that game, I believe, as well, although it's been a long time, so I can't really remember. And they keep on giving that a little nod, so who knows, maybe one day we will get a Battlefield 2143. And then the second one here is the MP RMG, a minigun with a fast rate of fire, effective against light vehicles and infantry. In Rodeo, the upcoming mission for Gauntlet mode, squads must earn eliminations while occupying heavily armoured tanks scattered throughout the playable area. The 2 squads with the least amount of points are removed from the Gauntlet match, and that is all available on November the 18th. So it sounds like that's basically going to be sort of tank superiority, but on a much smaller scale. And then, of course, guys, the third part of Season 1 is called Winter Offensive. That is coming on December the 9th. And he says this limited time map update of Empire State will be available for both multiplayer and Gauntlet mode variants. Ice Lock, the time-limited event, will be centered around a mechanic called Freeze, a gameplay modifier that slowly reduces player health if they do not seek external heat sources. Combat zones will have designated heat zones to bring your core temperature back up to normal, or you can create fire using incendiary grenades and other gadgets. Unlike the traditional gauntlet on Fort Linden, REDSEC, Ice Lock Gauntlet takes place on an Ice Lock version of Empire State multiplayer map with a lock set of 3 operations in every match. Master these operations while braving the effects of Freeze, and your squad will be rewarded with more than just the pride of victory. Portal will also get a new verified mode and all winter offensive content, including the Ice Lock Empire State map and the Ice Lock variant rules before the end of the year. So that sounds kind of interesting. Obviously, you know, having like a variant of a map is not as cool as having a brand new map, but I still appreciate that they're putting in the effort. Like, for a whole season here, getting 2 new maps and then 1 variant, so let's call it 2.5 maps. I think that's pretty good. That's really what I was expecting from the game. A massive improvement over Battlefield 2042's 1 single map per season. So, you know, yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, what is that game mode going to be like, though, guys? Let me know in the comments what you think about it. It sounds kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't know, it might be just quite annoying. If you're losing health, you need to get, like, back to the fire. Doesn't that mean that people are just going to, you know, camp around certain areas of the map where you're able to get your heat back and heat up the core of your body or whatever? Maybe the flags are going to be, you know, out in the winter wonderlands, then you're going to have to go back to these safe areas, kind of almost like your deployment, I guess. But I guess that remains to be seen. Okay, last but not least, guys, let's talk about the latest Battle Royale offering, which is, of course, Battlefield REDSEC. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this yesterday, but it has been getting absolutely review bombed to hell. It was mostly negative, with only 37% positive reviews on the day of release. It has since come up to mixed, with 41% positive reviews, which still isn't great. And I want to just delve into the reasons behind this, what most people are saying in their negative reviews, and why it's receiving so many. So because this is a free-to-play experience, this means that anybody and everybody can go and leave a review on this title without really having invested in anything into it. They haven't paid any money for the game. They may have just jumped in and played like a single round, and they can go and review bomb it, which is why I think this is actually a really, really unfair score for the experience. The reason that people are review bombing it and downvoting the game isn't because it's necessarily a bad experience as a Battle Royale. I think as a Battle Royale, it actually holds up. It's mostly the Battlefield audience saying, I don't want a Battle Royale in Battlefield. To that, I would say, like, nobody is forcing anybody to go and play this game mode. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Ghost, we are being forced because the assignments in the game, the weekly assignments, are telling me if I want to complete this, I have to go play Gauntlet, I have to go and play Battle Royale, and I have no interest in them. And that is the one caveat that I will give to that side of the argument here. I do think DICE should just separate them to quell this argument once and forever. I think that's exactly the reason they put in this reroll system that I talked about earlier in the video, is to, you know, sort of come to terms with both parties so that, you know, as I said, if you reroll a Battle Royale mission, you will get one for the base game and vice versa. But maybe they need to go a step further and just say, okay, like for each one, you can pick one. You can pick a mission in normal Battlefield, or you can pick one in REDSEC, or you can choose one in Gauntlet, or whatever kind of game you like to play. I have to say, I think this is just an intrinsic problem with Battlefield 6 in general, is that the game is forcing you a lot of the time to play, you know, in X way on Y map with Z weapon, or whatever it may be. The game is always constantly dictating to you, you have to use this gadget, you have to, you know, what are some of the stupid assignments? Suppress 300 people with an LMG. Like, you literally have to purposefully miss 300 targets with an LMG to unlock something in this game. That is, like, beyond stupid. The assignment system just needs a total overhaul. I really never saw anything wrong with the way things used to be, where you got experience in the game. Whatever way you chose to play, you ranked up, you got experience with a weapon, you unlocked attachments for it, and that was it. You unlocked all the gadgets in the game, all of the camos and whatnot, by simply getting up your core level or by leveling up your weapons. There was nothing wrong with that. I don't know why we all have to be shoehorned into doing these stupid arbitrary challenges. I know I'm getting a bit riled up about this, and it's because I'm just as frustrated with it as you guys are. And I think this is now bleeding into the REDSEC reviews and really fueling a lot of them. Now, the second reason about it is that people are just unhappy that DICE have seemingly put resources, time, effort, and money into creating a Battle Royale experience that really nobody asked for. Like, the Battlefield community did not ask for a Battle Royale experience. That is true, and I understand for people who didn't really care about it. But again, they're trying to go after a bigger audience here. They're not really building this mode for you, if that is you. They're building it for people who do enjoy Battle Royale, and the point here of having it free to play is to try to then get them into the Battlefield universe, get them to buy the full game, and get them into modes like Conquest and Breakthrough to grow that side of the game and make it more popular. So actually, this is kind of feeding back into the game. That's the way I look at it. It's actually a positive for the franchise overall. But I think a lot of people are getting this the other way around, and they're looking at it as a negative. They're saying, oh, they're taking all this time and resource away that they could have been using to make more maps for the base game, and they're putting it into a mode that we don't care about. But the fact of the matter is that there was a complete separate studio, predominantly Ripple Effect Studios, I believe, who were making this Battle Royale. And if they wouldn't have been making the Battle Royale, they wouldn't have gone and made a bunch more maps for the base game, guys. They would have just gone and done something else. EA would have simply saved their money. Here is one of the most upvoted negative reviews, and it says Battlefield 6 base multiplayer gets small maps with limited destruction. Battlefield Battle Royale gets a massive map with whole buildings coming down and water vehicles. I wish they spent more time making Conquest a true Battlefield experience. So again, I think this is just showing like what's lacking right now in Battlefield 6. That's where people are getting hurt. They're saying, hey, we want bigger maps, we want those true Battlefield experiences, we want naval combat. I don't think it's really fair of him to say, oh, we don't have big enough destruction. I think the destruction is pretty good right now in the base game, to be fair. Like, I don't think we'd want every building to be coming down. The reason that works in Battle Royale is because you've got this ever-enclosing circle around you, and once it goes past that building that's just been demolished, well, you're not going to play on that part of the map again, whereas in the main game, you're going to be playing on it constantly. So I don't think that argument really holds any water there. But I can understand, right? People are sort of hurt. People want the experience that they want, and it feels like they're just sort of taking it out on the Battle Royale mode, which I don't think is entirely fair to the team that built this, because again, as a BR, it is a good experience. And right now, that is not being reflected in the score. So I think what the Battlefield studios should really do here is, you know, maybe not take these reviews like too seriously, but at the same time, they need to take heed of what players are calling out for. And what they're calling out for at the moment is that the assignment system is just stupid. It just needs a complete overhaul. It needs a complete redo. It just doesn't work. It's not enjoyable to anybody, in my opinion. And I know they are looking at ways to fix that. And the second thing is that we need bigger maps in the game. It's been said so many times, like, there are small maps in the game, there are medium maps, and I'm not saying I don't enjoy those, right? I think they have their place, and they are enjoyable, but the thing that's missing right now, and has always felt like it's missing, is those larger map experiences. So I really hope DICE are thinking about adding some with future seasons. Obviously, they can't just like go and change all the maps in the game, and they've most likely got the next couple of seasons already planned out in terms of map sizes and whatnot. But if they could make something like, maybe not quite Battle Royale size, but sort of almost, I think that will please a lot of people as well. I also don't think the newest map, Blackwell Fields, being kind of like a mid-map, helped at all in that regard. But there you go. Guys, chime in down below. Let me know what you all think about this. I'm sure you've all got your own opinions on the matter. And as always, I would be very interested to hear what you all have to say about it. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video today or found it informative, leaving a like is always massively appreciated. You guys know that. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything BF6. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.